What is up, guys? Eric here from Real Film Reviews, bringing you another movie review, this time for the new Emma Stone film, The Favorite. The Favorite is directed by Yorgos Lanthimos, stars Olivia Colman, Emma Stone, Rachel Weisz, and Nicholas Hoult. It tells the story of Queen Anne of England, where during sort of the failings of her life as she's beginning to get ill, her best friend, Sarah, has sort of taken over the rules of state for her. But when a new girl shows up at the palace named Abigail and she begins to favor her, we see a lot of political intrigue and relationship drama begin to start. Now, watching this film, the first thing that jumped out to me as being arguably the most impressive thing just immediately right off the bat was the score. The music in this film is absolutely wonderful. It's very vibrant and loud and roaring at times when it needs to be, and subtle at other times. And I would say it had probably the best score of 2018 for me. I can't really remember any score, which is never a good sign, because if you can't remember one, then that means it wasn't very memorable. But this film's score was so loud and roarous at times where it needed to be that it was very, very memorable and fitting for the storytelling. Yorgos Lanthimos has always made extremely aesthetically pleasing films, even if what you're seeing on screen is rather abrasive and raw, and I think that this film is no different. This movie has some of the best cinematography of the whole year. I would say it is probably the best directed film that I saw for 2018. His use of the camera throughout the film is absolutely wonderful. The choice of lens, the choice of angle, all of these different things work super well. I don't remember the last time I saw a wide-angle, almost fisheye style lens used in a Hollywood film, but it is used on a regular basis in this movie, and it works so well. The whole movie aesthetically is absolutely beautiful. The set design, all of the outfits, everything in it is so fitting and works so well. And I realize it's a period piece, so historically accurate, I'm sure that it is, but it also is very fitting with the characters. Every character is dressed the way that their personality fits in those different scenes. But aesthetically, and this is going to sound really weird, to me the most impressive thing about this film is the lighting. The lighting in this movie is so good. It utilizes candlelight and natural light almost exclusively. Obviously, it's faking that light in a lot of scenes and utilizing real lights in real life, I'm sure. But the fact that they were able to mimic the use of natural light and candles, which is all they had back then, and make it feel so real, and especially in the sequences at nighttime when they're just walking around with candles, you see just how almost like intense that would be, like how scary it would be knowing what we have now to go back to having to walk around with like a little candle in front of you and that's all the light that you have. And I really enjoyed that. I thought the lighting was absolutely beautiful. He uses it really, really well throughout a lot of the more dramatic sequences of the film, and I think that the lighting is one of the lasting elements of this film that was very visually stunning. The performances in this film are what everyone has been talking about, and for good reason. Olivia Colman as this sort of older, weaker Queen Anne is very good. She gives this performance that over the course of the film you see her body breaking down more and more, and I think the way in which she plays the role is absolutely wonderful. I think it's definitely an Oscar-worthy performance. She is this human being who her whole life has sort of been coddled and always had people around her, so in her later years she requires someone to pretty much be with her at all times. She struggles with the fear of being left alone and the fear of having to struggle through the pain that she's enduring alone, and I feel like she got that through in her performance so well, and the emotional aspects of this character are so present throughout the film. And then alongside her, Emma Stone is this new girl that shows up at the palace who's sort of this snake in the grass, doing everything that she can to try to climb the ladder of success, was so great because she's clearly there and she's doing these really subtle things that are obvious in terms of why she's doing them, and it's to get the queen's favor and to continue to move up the ladder. And I think that that throughout the film is one of my favorite things about it, because you can watch her become more and more clever as she's making these decisions. However, my two favorite performances in the film were Nicholas Hoult, who plays the head of the opposition party to the Queen in the House of Lords in the film, and his character is constantly trying to sort of work around the Queen and figure out what to do, but with Sarah, who is Rachel Weisz's character, always in her ear, he struggles to sort of figure out what the Queen actually wants and not just what Rachel Weisz's character wants. And I think that his character also has some of the best dialogue in the whole film. He's extremely funny, and he's also extremely smart. The way in which he's able to maneuver himself throughout these politically dramatic situations is absolutely wonderful. But the best performance in this film, in my opinion, is Rachel Weisz. She is so good in this role as this character who is so aware of the fact that the reason she has so much respect is because people utterly fear her, and she utilizes that at every turn. The fact that no matter what she does, she can probably get her way because everyone is intimidated and fears the amount of power that she has in the world. And I think that very strong character that she plays is so important over the course of the film because you see her character begin to change as Emma Stone's character starts to climb the ladder. And I think the butting heads of those two characters, as they're both trying to outwit one another and figure out where the next one is going, is one of the best things in the whole film. Now, I do want to say before I get into my issue with the film that I adored the script of this movie. It's extremely well written. The amount of wit and intellect that went into the script to write these characters to be so intelligent and have so many clever maneuverabilities around all of the different plot elements going on was great. However, I do have an issue with the pacing of the film. I am not a big fan of dramatic old school period piece films. That's just something about me. I still watch them. I do my best to enjoy them. And I have to say, of every old period piece film I've ever seen, I would say The Favorite is maybe my personal favorite one that I've ever seen because it chose to turn it up to 11 and have all of the craziness that we always hear about old royalty having. And I really, really loved that. But I still think that over the course of this film, there are some issues with the storytelling in terms of the pace. There are different moments with different characters that I think last too long or not long enough, and then I think there are other moments that need to be basically like strung out. I needed to learn more about why this happened or why this character did this. I'm obviously not going to spoil anything, but that's sort of my personal opinion. But as previously stated, this is not my forte when it comes to genres as film. I'm not a big period piece person, so I know that for plenty of other people, they would have adored every single aspect of this movie, but this was just my one small fault that I had with it. I'm gonna give The Favorite a B+. I found this movie exceptionally entertaining for the genre that it was in. As I said, this isn't my genre, so I'm not exactly your expert on it, but I actually enjoyed it quite a bit for being something I don't normally enjoy. I understand why it's getting so much award praise. I'm a big Yorgos Lanthimos fan, so I really hope that he gets to take home an Oscar for this film because I think that this film is very deserving of it. Just visually, it is absolutely stunning, and performance-wise, it is amazing. If you are a fan of Yorgos Lanthimos and sort of offbeat films, or if you're a fan of just straight up period piece films, definitely go check out The Favorite because it's an extremely well-made movie. Well guys, as always, I'm Eric. If you enjoyed this video, please do like, subscribe, comment down below what you thought of The Favorite, share everything we do on Real Film Reviews, and hope to see you guys later.